I want to take a minute and show you. I know that one of the biggest battles for me as a muralist has been figuring out how to do different textures. Textures meaning making the surface of something look like something other than what it is. So like making something look like wood, marble, metal, fur, water, things that all have their own behavior with the way the light hits it. Well, I've discovered that the right colors on different textures makes a way bigger difference than having the right shapes and the right brush strokes. See, I think that if I put all those exact same colors in these waves behind me, I think regardless of the pattern on my brush strokes, it would still give the illusion of water just because the colors are right. And so I'm going to show you how I did this wood. This is the simplest way to do wood that I know of, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Now what gives wood its unique look is the variation of colors and values within a color. So the overall color of this is brown, but within that brown there are redder shades of brown and grayer and yellower and greener, whatever. You could break it down into indefinite numbers of colors. So you have two kinds of contrast. You have color contrast and value contrast. And by value contrast, I mean lightness and darkness. And so with a metallic, you're going to have a different amount of value contrast and color contrast than you do with, say, wood or plastic, different reflective surfaces. They all have their own nature as far as how much color contrast and how much value contrast. Well, wood is going to be not real extreme on the value contrast, but it'll have a lot of different color contrast. My brush has been sitting in water, so it's going to be see all that water dripping out. So I'm not scared to make a mess. I'm just going to get some of the water out of it. It's important to keep the paint real wet for this technique. I'm going to start by putting yellow and red on the wall, just like you've seen in my other videos. I'm just working out of gallons on the floor that are just pure red, pure yellow, pure black, and pure white. So watch me add black. Black and orange make brown. This is how I do a huge portion of all my mural work. It's by mixing these primaries on the wall. It's real important, like I said, to keep the surface wet, so I always keep a bucket of water handy. Like right now, it's just so you can see. See, I'm just going to dip the brush in that water and then just smear it on the wall. And a lot of times I also keep, like what I showed you on that other video, that Floetrol handy. Okay, let me go all the way to the corner over here. A little more of this black. Now you can see that I didn't mix it all the way. I'm not going to do that because I want the different colors to show up. And so then I'll just take white. You can see that it's just on the end of my brush. And here, see? And then I'm going to come over here right where these boards meet and just go straight across. And it just streaks the white over the surface. Let me get a little more of that. I guess. My brush is a little too wet right now. Like so. And you can see that there'll be squiggly lines in there. And I just leave those because they can look cool, you know. If it comes out a little bit squiggly, it can look like just a different kind of wood. But the idea is that you're not fine-tuning the texture, or you're not fine-tuning the actual brush strokes. You're just getting the colors in there. So watch, I'll get this. And that's how I did all the wood in this whole thing. That. Let me get a little more of this. See, so it's red and yellow and black, and then I go over it with the white. And I like to leave those streaks in. The more I go over it, the more I lose that streaky look. I can do a few, turn the brush the other way and do some different patterns in there, but I don't feel like it matters all that much. Here, I'll do some more. Now, it's hard to get perfectly level lines. You can do that afterward. You can use tape, or you can just eyeball it, and after it dries, bring a dark shadow into there. But this is just getting the colors on there. So red, yellow, black again. That's kind of a lot of black, so I'll put it down here. Then white. See, just this big brush, and just that big fat brush stroke right across. See how I'm letting the brush stay straight? I'm not squishing it too much against the wall. It gives me a little more of a streaky effect. We'll get some more. That. Oh, and it started skipping right here. I like how that looks, so I'll leave it. See, so when people walk in, they're going to see the whole room, and they're not going to be picking out one little spot on a board to see what the little grain and knots look like. It's going to look right at a glance as a whole picture, and that's what I'm concerned about. I mean, this is a kid's room, and so I'm going easy on details up close and just making the whole picture look nice. Then the last thing I'll do is get a nice dark color and redefine the shadows. See, like in here, I want to keep that. That's where it's nice to have a new brush, because it'll keep that chiseled end for you. I can see my lines kind of tilting down like this, so I better fix that.